Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Chrome Soft Golf Ball from Callaway.
Hello, I'm Matt Adams, and this is your Golf Central update. Jon Rahm is the 2023 Masters champion. After a final round of 69, the Spaniard etched his name in Masters history. Here's a look at the final leaderboard. With the victory, Rahm became the fourth player from Spain to put on a green jacket, following in the footsteps of Sergio Garcia, Jose Maria Olazabal, and Seve Ballesteros. After his epic victory, Jon Rahm spoke with our Todd Lewis.
Jon, I spoke with you after you completed the third round this morning. You seemed calm, you seemed confident, and you didn't have the lead. Mentally and emotionally, where were you heading into that final round?
I gave myself the opportunity I've been asking for, right? So that's where I was at. 2-shot deficit, and 18 holes to go. So nothing special. At that moment, I was thinking more about lunch and relaxing for an hour, right, before we had to get ready again. But yeah, just knowing that the wind was going to pick up, it was going to be a windy day, I was thinking if I shoot in the 60s, I'm going to have a really good chance. And I did. Yeah,
you got the job done. And the special moment when you had secured the win is when you were walking on 18, your hat off, you were acknowledging the patrons. What was going through your mind?
It's a combination of things. I've never gotten close to crying for a win. I came very close because it's a meaningful one, right? I've been hearing all week about today being Seve's 66th birthday, Easter Sunday, and then added to that being the fourth Spanish player to win a green jacket, sixth green jacket, and 10th Spanish major, right? That is it's a lot to take in that sense. It was a lot to take in. And as a golfer, as a lover of the game and the history of the game, you know, that wave of emotion definitely overtook me.
You know, it's interesting because I talked to Jose Maria after you won, and he said you guys were playing a practice round this week, preparing, and you talked about Seve on the golf course. Mm-hmm. Can you share some of that conversation and how inspirational that was?
Very inspirational, because obviously Ollie and him were very close, and he can really tell you firsthand what was going on and what he did, right? And he was just explaining to me how Seve was. I mean, we use the term field player, right? But Seve was just unique. He said his knowledge of technique was minimal, at least early on, 'cause the way he grew up playing, right? So he would just tell me stories about him being on the trees and finding gaps and thinking in a way that people didn't, and then saying, oh, if I hit this 9-iron through that gap and goes high and then turns, I can do this. And the amazing thing is that he would do all those things. Right, and then he told me a couple of funny stories of them playing 4 balls in the Ryder Cup, how Seve would go right in the trees, Ollie would go left. I'm like, I'll see you on the green, and somehow get the job done and win a match, right? And then just playing with both him and Sergio, and just really wanting to be added to that list it was motivation enough. So I think he mentioned something about it. Phil Mickelson texted me. I don't know what we were talking about, but he did say something in the realm of, can't wait to have a lot more lunches with you, but in a different room or something like that, right, alluding to the win. But I think that was early in the week, and I don't think he expected to have the round he had today, so maybe he wouldn't be sending that right now, but he definitely sent that. So it's a couple of really good friends really pulling for me this week.
All right, Seve inspired many. Like you mentioned, he inspired Ollie. Those two inspired Sergio, and I'm sure all three of them inspired you. Mm-hmm. Now you've joined that list of great Spanish champions here at Augusta National. What do you hope this win by you will do for inspiration to other Spaniards?
I don't know. I can already see a bit of my influence just by seeing how many young Spanish golfers decide to come the college route, right? It wasn't a common thing, like, right, in Europe, especially in Spain, it was you're 18, you turn pro type mindset, and some people had come to the U.S., but it wasn't the norm. And I noticed after me, and after I had some success as a pro, a lot of Spanish kids started going, and it's just a normal thing, right? I meet a college player, like and a couple of college coaches that I dealt with, and they would tell me, oh, I have this Spanish guy, this Spanish guy. ASU has no shortage of Spanish guys at this point. There's always one or two every single year since I've been on the team, right? So I can see that already. I'm hoping, in the future, I can be waiting on 18 while the next Spanish talent gets their win here.
Mm-hmm. Final thing, I was at Torrey. It was an exciting win. You got your first major championship. How important for your legacy is it for you to now be a multiple major champion?
The one thing I never wanted to hear is I only won a major because he was at Torrey Pines, right? That's not the thing I wanted to hear. I've had success there, but I'm glad I was able to win somewhere else. And a golf course that we all play every single year. So then there's no excuse for anybody, right? We all play it. So it's important. And it's crazy, it hasn't really dawned on me yet to be a two-time champion, but it feels good. And you might need to ask me this sometime down the future again, because I really can't tell you exactly what's going on through my mind.
It was well-earned, well-deserved. Congrats, Jon.
Thank you.
Jon Rahm making history, becoming a two-time major champion with his win at the Masters tournament. In the process, he became the first European player to win a Masters and the U.S. Open, as you heard. After the victory, caddy Adam Hayes gave his thoughts on Rahm's achievement.
Some guys just have it in their, deep down where they just are able to reach down and kind of block everything out, and you saw him there at the end. We kind of laughed on that tee shot on 18, and once I knew the ball was out, and he still wanted to hit a provisional, but he probably got a little ahead of himself, and but I just think that he's, they talk about the it factor and stuff, and I think he's got that. I kind of let Jon just do his thing, and I'm not saying that caddies, get too in the way or over caddy. I guess it could happen, but Jon knows what he's doing. He was amazing before I ever started working for him. And so we talk about it. I give him advice, but at the end of the day, he's a very accountable person. And I think that allows him to, not blame me. And it allows me to kind of run free and give him information that I feel is needed and not be scared of giving him something that he's going to be, take the wrong way.
What's he capable of, do you think, long term?
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. The depth of fields I've talked about it before. Depth of fields now are incredibly deep. And every week there's so many guys now who have a chance to win, and none of them are scared, which it's amazing. Golf's an amazing place. And, but I don't know, if he keeps doing what he's doing, listen, I'm never going to sit there and say he's going to catch Tiger or anything like that. I mean, I think those days have sailed, but I could see him winning, maybe, I don't know, who knows, maybe double-digit majors. You never know, but he's definitely capable of it. It just depends on kind of how the chips fall.